Hello and welcome to the TMZ podcast. I'm Charlie Cotton, and joining me on the podcast today is my good friend, newsbreaker lovemaker, Deven. Rall.
You're getting good at that. Never gets old, honestly. It's
I
good.
know.
It's good to be here on a Monday too. You know me. Mondays are iffy, but
I usually expect you to turn down the podcast on a Monday, so I'm very pleasantly surprised you're here.
I'm trying to turn over a new leaf. You know,
I'm glad you're here, man.
trying to
thank you.
gain some rapport with you, show I'm a team guy, and here I am.
We're back on track finally.
We are.
So today we're going to talk about Will Smith because he is back in a big way. Cancel culture be damned. Bad Boys killed it at the box office.
Made a ton of money.
Ton of money. Julia Louis-Dreyfus, she is clapping back at her former co-star, Jerry Seinfeld, who had said that, cancel culture or PC culture is ruining comedies and we can't have it anymore. She disagrees with Jerry.
She does.
Oh, nice.
Well, that's a tease.
Nice little ad there.
Well,
Deven.
yeah, that's a tease, dude. We'll get into it.
We'll talk about George Lopez. JLO. He had a wild weekend where he was... JLO.
He's not known by G-Lo.
In certain circles, he's known as JLO.
Okay.
He was booed at his comedy show, but we've got some extra video to sort of support, why he was booed in the first
Yeah,
place.
explains the whole thing. I hate hecklers, though.
I hate hecklers. But to begin with, JLO and Ben Affleck, they're giving mixed signals to us. On one hand, they're selling their $60 million mansion they bought a year ago that they hunted 2 years for.
Not a good sign.
Not a good sign.
Not only did they hunt 2 years for it, apparently they looked at like 80 different properties because they couldn't find the right one. And I mean, so much effort and money probably went into finding their like dream home,
Right.
and they're getting rid of it.
They're getting rid of it. And on the other hand, JLo went out last night in Santa Monica at one of the to be seen places, the places that paparazzi are going to sit outside of, rocking her huge wedding ring. So,
well, they're not divorced yet.
They're not divorced. So when you agree with your partner, look, we're going to get divorced. Do you still wear the ring until you sign the paperwork? Or?
I mean, I haven't been through that yet.
Yet?
I'm kidding. That's never going to happen. But I feel like you wear it until it's officially over, right? And then you you turn it in. Doesn't the guy get it back or no? I think that's how it works.
I don't think
so. You give it to your attorney and he hands it over.
I don't think you get it back, do you?
Yeah, I think in California, I think Harvey always says the guy gets it back.
Oh wow! So how many years have you got to decide whether to get divorced to get the ring?
That I don't know. That I don't know. I don't know all the specifics, but yeah, I mean, to be honest, her doing this whole front in public, wearing the ring, and trying to show where everything's good. If you're selling this home that you've been searching for, your dream home with your partner, things aren't looking good, man.
Well, because he had already moved out and lived in Brentwood in a rental property.
Mm-hmm.
But now it's just weird that she goes out to Giorgio Baldi, where that's Rihanna's favorite restaurant. We see her there
apparently they must have good food though. I've never eaten there, but it's Italian, right?
Right.
Maybe she was just hungry.
Well, she could have gone to any of the other Italian restaurants that don't have paps. She wanted the paparazzi to see her wearing a ring, despite the fact that she knows that we know they're selling that house, that $60 million house, at a loss. They're going to lose millions of dollars on that house.
The market's terrible right now. So some realtors are saying they're going to get nowhere near that $60 million that they purchased it for a year ago. Granted, they have plenty of money. I don't think they're going to be hurting over a couple $1 million they're going to lose on the house. But I don't know. I think this was the classic example of he was living in the Brentwood house. They were trying to see if they could make it work. And now they're it's not working. Let's sell the house. And honestly, I would expect a divorce filing soon.
Soon.
Very soon.
This week?
Could be this week.
Oh, Deven Rall.
Yes. I'm expecting it very soon.
Yeah, I mean, to me, I think these guys are the classic case of once you get what you've been searching for, the marital bliss, settle down, we've got the house, where everything's good, that's when the sort of boredom and did I really make the right decisions creep in. Like while you're searching for the $60 million house, it's fun.
Yeah.
And once you're like trying to figure out how we're going to live, how's this going to work? Yeah, we have a few arguments, but wait till we get to the, that marital. Once you arrive at that destination, that's when you go, okay, yeah, maybe it's not great and we should have seen the signs all along.
So essentially what you just said is the honeymoon stage is over.
I think that's what I just said, yeah.
Yeah, in a lot more words than that.
Yeah. I think the romance of the story of like, they were 20 years ago they were engaged and blah, blah, and they didn't make it work. And now they got married finally 20 years later. But I think that story was like appealing to them. But then the story wears off and you're just left with staring at each other and you're like, we're totally different people.
They seem totally different. She doesn't seem like she's very fun to be around. Not blaming the woman here, but she just doesn't look very fun to be around. You hear all these stories Meghan McCain said over the weekend on her podcast that she was like very like cold and not a very nice person. You hear this all the time.
Well, JLo's the type of person...
And he's got a lot of issues too.
Oh, for sure he's got a lot of issues. JLo's the type of person to go out with the wedding ring still at Giorgio Baldi. Ben Affleck is the type of guy who's probably at home eating Dunkin' Donuts right now.
Yeah, smoking cigs.
Smoking cigs, and that's just who they were.
And it is weird, too. The whole smoking cigs thing, he doesn't seem like he's, like, super into, like, the health stuff, and she seems like the exact opposite.
Yeah.
Always working out, like, just, like, doesn't drink, all those type of things. But I don't know. I feel like you knew if it didn't work out 20 years ago, why would it work out now?
Well, let's hope they can turn it all around still. They've still got time.
Wait, we didn't sell the house yet, did we?
Oh, no. Okay, on to our next story. Will Smith's comeback is complete. Bad Boys smashed box office records. He's projected to make $56 million domestically this weekend. And international, it'll be cracking the $100 million global mark, which is just amazing for a guy who 2 years ago, everyone was saying he's done. He slapped Chris Rock at the Oscars. This guy's career's over. And now he's killing it at the box office when most movies recently haven't.
Which is weird. I saw Mad Max. It was awesome.
Okay.
It was really, I guess not that many other people went and saw it.
Right.
But I mean, I wasn't one of those people that said that Will Smith was done. Because I honestly believe that, like, no one's truly canceled. Unless you, like, murder someone.
You're canceled legally then. You're a criminal.
Yeah, but like people always come back and he just needed some time and these movies always make a killing. So this was like, in my opinion, the perfect comeback for Will Smith would be to do a Bad Boys movie that everyone's going to go see. Movie's probably not even that good.
Right.
But everyone's going to go see it. It have a few laughs.
It's just fast food, you just go along. You know what you're going to get.
Exactly.
It's something fun to do on the weekend.
Exactly.
Even Will Smith went along.
I saw those videos. Did you?
Yeah, it was kind of, it made me smile. Like he went along and sat in the cinema with people, and then when they came out and saw him, they were all shocked and in love with him, and
No, I know. It was cool. He said in the video, I guess he does this for a lot of his big movies. He'll go that Friday night, Saturday, and then go to a matinee on Sunday where he'll just like sit in the theater. But I was thinking, like, when I was watching these videos, I was like, damn, what if you were sitting in front of him and you're like, God, this movie sucks.
I know.
And then you walk out and you're like, oh, there's Will Smith.
That would be hilarious.
But it seemed like most of the people were giving a pretty positive reaction. People were like shocked to see him. And were stoked getting photos. But yeah, I mean, he's like fully back.
But good on him though, as well. Like he was squeaky clean all his life. He has one bad, very bad moment that is, televised, watched by everyone all around the world. And I'm glad that doesn't define his life. And when we look back on his career, I think we'll remember the slap, but maybe we'll remember the slap with a smile. You know what I mean?
Well, Chris won't.
Yeah, true. Okay, on to our next story. Julia Louis-Dreyfus calls Jerry Seinfeld's stance on PC comedy a red flag. So Jerry made a comment to the New York Times, and then Julia replied to the New York Times. So there's both New York Times articles.
Interesting.
He said the extreme left is ruining comedic television. Well, she said, look, when I hear people starting to complain about political correctness, and I understand, why some people might push back on it. To me, that's a red flag because they're trying to say sometimes it means something else. They're trying to say something different. I believe being aware of certain sensitivities is not a bad thing. I don't know how else to say it. So
this is obviously directly contradicting.
yeah,
Direct response to Jerry.
yeah. I mean, Jerry was like, we couldn't make Seinfeld anymore these days with the PC culture. Isn't Seinfeld like the most PC show there is?
You could definitely make it today. That was just like a stupid thing to say.
I don't.
Maybe you'd have to cut out. I'm not the biggest Seinfeld guy, but you might have to cut out some things. But it's like the most like vanilla, boring like comedy.
Yeah, I mean, I like Seinfeld, and it stood out for its time. Like at its time, I think it was edgier than we consider now looking back on it.
Yeah.
But I mean, when Jerry was saying they wouldn't make Seinfeld these days, and we can't be funny anymore, while promoting his Pop-Tart movie, it's just like, bro. Do you want to be one of the bad kids?
I mean, it was like you were saying last time. I feel like he was just trying to make headline.
Yeah.
But also, I think he also was like, he's an older guy now, and it's like when you get older, you're just like, I'm just gonna say how I actually feel. I'm not gonna like, just talk around just because it's like cancel me or whatever.
Totally. I mean, Elaine, Julia says, if you look back on comedy and drama, let's say 30 years ago, through the lens of today, you might find bits and pieces that don't age well. And I think to have an antenna about sensitivities is not a bad thing. So I think she's agreeing that some things do get cancelled by today's standards, but it's not a bad thing to update our version of what's acceptable. But I wouldn't lump Seinfeld into that bucket.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. And I mean, Julia, I'm pretty sure she's like a big Democrat, isn't she?
Yes.
She's like spoken at the DNC.
Yeah, she's a big one.
And different things. So like her having these takes aren't like super shocking. I think it's only shocking because it's like they're obviously contradicting Jerry's, but it's like, dude, you have coworkers who you have different opinions of different things. It's like you guys can have different opinions and they can still like each other. I don't think this means she doesn't like Jerry.
True.
You know what I mean?
Very true. Okay. On to our final story, our almost news story. George Lopez. He was at a casino playing to a crowd when he walked off stage. He'd had enough of people shouting out during his set, and so he walked off stage, and the crowd was not happy about it. Let's listen to some of that reaction now.
Hell no, George Lopez walked off the stage. Boo! Record now. What are they going to do, throw us out?
And so that clip, and other clips like it went sort of viral, that George was cancelling his show mid-show. But we ended up getting more video, which kind of showed that he did warn the crowd. Let's play that now.
I'm serious. I seem like an asshole. I'm the one working. So, listen, I fucking waited to come back over here, man. Come on, please. Just fucking watch the show. That's all you have to do. Seriously. Come on, man. Let's go.
Wow. 3 strikes, he's out.
Well, yeah, he gave him 3 strikes.
What that was.
Yeah. He told him, I'll give you 3 strikes. Here we go. And within like 10 seconds, they had strike out.
Yeah, I don't know what that was.
What do they go? Strike?
There you go. There you go. But yeah, I mean, how do you feel about this? Because like when I go to these shows, I do think that there's, especially like a comedy show, it's kind of fun when there's some banter with the comedian and the crowd. But there's also a line where it's like, dude, these people are annoying, the hecklers. Especially if they're drunk and they're yelling and then the guy has to keep stopping every 2 seconds because like he's distracted now. It's just like, I hate that personally.
Yeah. I mean, I think 2 things can be true. I think maybe George probably should have, on a different day, maybe he would have just powered through or been more stern with the crowd and like won them over and told the drunks to shut up and they would have worked. Maybe. But also, I mean, imagine going to work and there's drunk people shouting at you every day.
Yeah, it would suck.
This is at a casino at night, on the weekend. I think that everyone's allowed a bad day and not feel like I want to put up with this today. And he just walked up.
100%. Because like you don't know what he was going through that day. I think I just always hate this for the fans who like traveled to this casino, bought tickets, were like stoked, like, oh, I'm going to go see, what did you call him earlier? JLO. I'm going to go see JLO tonight. Like, and then it's just like the show's cut early. You're left disappointed. And it's like, you could blame these random drunk people, but the thing is you end up just blaming George.
Yeah.
He's the one who walked off stage and you paid him to be up there.
Totally. I mean, they're collateral damage.
Yeah, exactly.
And then they go out to the casino because he's finished his set early and you lose more money and you blame George on how you've lost more money. I mean, though, the casino wasn't happy.
No, they fired off, didn't they?
Yeah, he let down his fans. He should have had security there to escort out the hecklers. The casino was pissed.
Yeah, but as also the security was presumably at the casino, right? Shouldn't their security have seen these people and like taken them out? Or I guess he could have like directed them to?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a really terrible situation though. For everyone involved, honestly.
There's few jobs where people in the public are allowed to shout at them. Like you're doing your job and people in the public are allowed to shout at you. Like that's acceptable.
Yeah.
There's very few jobs where that's okay.
Yeah, that's true, actually.
My job is one of those jobs.
I was going to say, how are you going to make this about yourself? I was waiting for it.
I'm out at LAX sometimes with my camera. Leave him alone, you scum. I'm like, I'm just here, man.
I'm just trying to make a living out here, man.
Yeah, just let me be, bro.
Like, come on, let me do this interview. Let this person ignore me again.
Right.
At least.
No soundbite.
Yeah.
Okay, Deven, thank you for coming in on a Monday, mate.
Hey, man, it's only for you.
Wow.
Only for you.
That's big. That's big. Well, appreciate that.
Yep.
And thank you everyone for listening. We will see you tomorrow. Goodbye.
See you then.